Hello, my name is Nicole, the Wellness Genie. I'm a registered nurse, a nutrition health coach, and an eco consultant. Today I'm going to explain how to read and interpret food labels. This video is the extended advanced version. I will be posting a shorter version of this video with just the basics if you don't have time for this one. The link will be in the description. So you cannot eat healthy if you don't know what you're eating. At the end of the day, most big corporations just want to sell their product in order to make a profit, and they don't care if the product is good for you or not. The food industry employs a lot of deceptive marketing, so unfortunately, in our modern day society, it's up to you to be a bit of a food detective in order to figure out what's truly healthy or not. Now, first I want to say this is a modern day problem that we are facing. Generations ago, people grew their own food or got it from their local farmer. There were no huge supermarkets with aisles and aisles and aisles of canned and packaged foods. Processed food is a modern invention. Do you think that your great-grandmother drank lemonade that contained maltodextrin, sodium acid, pyrophosphate, sodium citrate, soy lecithin, artificial color, yellow 5-lake, among other ingredients? I don't think so. By the way, these are the ingredients in Country Time lemonade, and in fact, there is no lemon listed on the ingredients. So the first rule for eating healthy is just eat real food. And by real food, I mean the things that don't come with a label. Apples and oranges don't come with a label. It's because an apple is just an apple and an orange is just an orange. Now, of course, an organic apple is going to be different and healthier than a conventional apple sprayed with pesticides. But at the end of the day, an apple, whether organic or not, is still going to be better for you than a processed apple product. So even though now I would teach you what to look for on food labels, I want you to understand that even if it's labeled organic, canned or processed foods is never going to be better for you than real food. So I want you to try to minimize the amount of processed food that you purchase, even the organic stuff. But when you do need to buy processed food, it's important to know how to read the label and what to look for. So here I have a few examples of processed foods. We're going to take a look at each one and I'll show you what to look for. These are my 3 basic rules for evaluating a food label. So number 1, what are the first 3 ingredients listed? The list of ingredients is listed in descending order by weight, and I'll explain this more in detail in a minute. Rule number 2, how many ingredients are listed and do you know what they are? When the list starts getting really long, you may want to consider skipping that product, especially if it's full of long names that you can't even pronounce. Also, if there are artificial colorings like yellow 5-lake or red 40, don't buy that product. Rule number 3, how much sugar is in the product? You need to look at the serving size and I will show you how to do this. So let's take a look at our first item here. Here are some olives. You would think that that would be pretty healthy. It's a real food, right? Well, let's take a look at the ingredients. Olives, water, salt, potassium sorbate, citric acid. So our first 3 ingredients, rule number 1, are olives, water, and salt. As I mentioned, the ingredients are listed in descending order by weight. Since olives are listed first, this means that the majority of the bottle is olives. The second ingredient is water, meaning that the second most common ingredient is water. The third most common ingredient is salt. As a general rule, the first 3 ingredients make up the bulk of your product. So in this case, you would be consuming mostly olives, water, and salt. The last 2 ingredients are potassium sorbate, a preservative, and citric acid to acidify. Now, if you want to dig a little deeper, the citric acid listed is potentially a genetically modified ingredient. Genetically modified foods are not labeled and have not been proven to be safe for human consumption, and I recommend avoiding them. So overall, not a bad product. The first 3 ingredients are harmless, the ingredient list is short, and there is no sugar. But if it were me, I would prefer to buy olives from the bulk bar after making sure there are no additives or preservatives. Let's move on to our next item. This is So Delicious Cultured Coconut Milk, Passionate Mango Flavor. And let's take a closer look. So the first 3 ingredients are organic coconut milk, which is water and organic coconut cream, organic dried cane syrup, and mangoes. Anytime you see sugar, in this case cane syrup, listed in the first 3 ingredients, your red flag should go up. The World Health Organization, in its most recent 2015 guidelines, recommends that adults not consume more than 25 grams or 6 teaspoons of sugar per day. So now that you've seen that sugar is the second ingredient, now we have to wonder how much sugar is there. So then we'll look at the chart, the nutrition facts chart. Sugars is listed as 16 grams. But you can't just look at the number of grams, now you need to look at the number of servings. So in this case, the serving size is 1 container of yogurt. So given that the WHO, the World Health Organization, recommends no more than 25 grams of sugar per day, it doesn't leave you much wiggle room for the rest of the day, especially considering that starchy grains like rice, corn, noodles, they all break down into sugar in your body. Let's keep looking at the rest of the ingredients. Passion fruit juice concentrate, chicory root extract, so far so good. Tapioca dextrose, another sugar. Pectin, a natural thickener. Algin, a seaweed extract. Magnesium phosphate and tricalcium phosphate. Okay, so they've added some minerals to the yogurt. Rice starch and locust bean gum as thickeners. Live cultures. Now this is important, and anytime you buy yogurt, make sure that it says live and active cultures, because this is what gives you the beneficial probiotic effect of yogurt. Citric acid, again, this is a questionable ingredient and it might be genetically modified. Natural flavor, another ingredient I don't like to see listed because it's the company's secret formula, which they don't have to disclose, and it could be composed of lots of chemicals, but we have no way of knowing. Carrageenan, this is a product derived from seaweed, so it's natural, but it is uncertain if it causes digestive problems, and in fact, it's banned from European baby formula, so some people prefer to avoid it. Guar guar, which comes from a bean, dipotassium phosphate, a preservative, and vitamin B12. Yogurt is commonly seen as a health food. After reading this label, do you think this yogurt is healthy? Well, in my assessment, while the ingredient list is long, for the most part it contains things that we are familiar with and can pronounce. It only has one preservative, the dipotassium phosphate, and it's the second to last ingredient, meaning the amount in the yogurt is going to be fairly small. But it's the amount of sugar in this yogurt that would prevent me from buying it. Every day, more and more research comes out proving the detrimental effects of sugar, everything from obesity to cancer and heart disease. We all need to limit the amount of sugar we're eating, and it's hard to when something that we think is healthy, like yogurt, is in fact packed with sugar. So bottom line, no, I would not purchase this particular yogurt. There are plenty of other yogurts out there with less sugar. Okay, next product. Orange balsamic vinaigrette and marinade. The first 3 ingredients are orange juice concentrate, balsamic vinegar, and water. Now, the orange juice concentrate, this raises a flag for me because juice tends to be high in sugar. So since that might be a concern, let's go look at the nutrition facts chart. So, okay, according to the chart, this has 0 grams of sugar. Sounds good. So let's go back to reading the list of ingredients. Whole grain mustard, olive oil, vinegar, sugar. Wait, didn't the chart just say there are 0 grams of sugar? Well, this is where you need to know that there is a loophole in the labeling law, and as long as there is 0.5 grams or less of sugar per serving, the company can legally label the product as sugar-free. So how many servings does this bottle have? Remember the yogurt, the entire container was 1 serving. Here, 1 serving is 1 tablespoon, and there are 24 servings total in the bottle. So assuming that each tablespoon has 0.5 grams of sugar, which legally they label as sugar-free, the entire bottle has in fact a total of 12 grams of sugar. Now, of course, you're probably not going to consume the entire bottle in one sitting, but it's important to know about these deceptive marketing practices. Another marketing ploy on this particular bottle is the no cholesterol claim. Cholesterol is only found in animal products, meats, eggs, dairy. So while it's true that this bottle has no cholesterol, every other bottle with the same ingredients is also not going to have cholesterol because there are no animal products. So in other words, that's not a meaningful label and it's just for marketing purposes. But I digress. So let's go back to the list of ingredients. So the rest of it is salt, a blend of herbs and spices, and natural gum, which is a thickener. So let's evaluate according to my 3 rules. The ingredient list is short, only items that are familiar and that we can pronounce. Even though there is hidden sugar, it's not a large amount given the fact that you won't consume the entire bottle by yourself or in one sitting. So overall, I would go ahead and buy this product. If the product was organic, that would be even better. Okay, chili garlic sauce. Here is another product with a fairly short list of ingredients. Salted chili peppers, garlic, sugar, rice vinegar, water, modified cornstarch, and acetic acid. Now, I've noticed that sugar is one of the first 3 ingredients. According to the nutrition facts chart, there are 2 grams of sugar per tablespoon, and there are 20 tablespoons in the entire jar. So 20 times 2 is 40 grams of sugar for the entire jar. So again, like the vinaigrette, you probably won't eat the entire jar. This is like a hot sauce that you use a condiment. But let's say you consume an average of 1 to 2 tablespoons of this sauce with your meal. That's 2 to 4 grams of sugar. So keep in mind the WHO recommends no more than 25 grams of sugar per day. If you eat rice along with your dish, your insulin levels spike, which is something that you want to avoid. But wait, Wellness Genie, rice is a traditional food consumed by many cultures. And I would respond to you, yes, rice is, and in small amounts, it's probably fine for most people. But the traditional chili garlic sauce made by an Asian grandmother several decades ago probably didn't have this much sugar in it. It may not have even had sugar at all. The problem with our modern day foods is that manufacturers add sugar to everything. In fact, the other day I picked up a little salt packet and even that had sugar in it. So going back to the rest of the ingredients, rice vinegar and water are fine. Modified cornstarch is usually genetically modified, and acetic acid is basically vinegar. So overall, it's not a bad product. The list of ingredients is small. We can recognize all the ingredients and the amount of sugar is acceptable. Would I buy this? I would prefer to buy an organic version. The modified cornstarch is most likely genetically modified, especially since this product was produced in China and they use a lot of GMO technology over there, and I try to avoid eating GMOs. All right, last but not least, honest watermelon lemonade. Remember at the beginning of this video that I mentioned Country Time lemonade? The ingredients included maltodextrin, sodium acid pyrophosphate, sodium citrate, soy lecithin, artificial color, yellow 5-flake. Well, let's see how this lemonade compares. This has water, organic lemon juice, fair trade organic cane sugar, organic watermelon juice, organic lemon extract, natural flavors, organic and natural flavors, fruit and vegetable juice, and citric acid. Well, for starters, hooray for a lemonade that has real lemons in it. None of the ingredients are problematic. They are names that we can recognize. Citric acid, which as I mentioned earlier, is often genetically modified. But this bottle has a label right here, which specifically states that there are no GMOs or genetically modified organisms in this product. So that's great news. I'm not crazy about the natural flavors because we have no idea what it is, but at least it's one of the last ingredients, so there is not that much of it in the juice. So far so good, right? Well, as with any juice, we need to evaluate the sugar content. All juices, organic or not, have loads of sugar in them, and as I have been telling you, you want to avoid eating too much sugar. So according to the nutrition facts, there are 17 grams of sugar in 8 fluid ounces. 8 fluid ounces is this much. I would bet you that most people drink more than this. Remember that the World Health Organization limit of 25 grams per day. So with just one glass of juice, you have consumed more than half of your daily limit. So for this reason, despite the fact that this juice is organic and non-GMO, I don't recommend drinking juice at all. But if you really needed to, you could probably find another juice with less sugar, or this is a good one to buy. You may see extra labels on products like this juice, which has a variety of labels. I explain these labels and others in my video, What in the World Does Free Range, Cage-Free, or Organic Mean? The link for that video is below in the description. There's more information listed on the labels, such as the percent day value, but these are not things that I really look at. I just go by my 3 basic rules. So there you have it. Let's review my 3 basic rules again. What are the first 3 ingredients listed? Remember, these items make up the bulk of the product. Number 2, how many ingredients are listed and do you know what they are? If there's any artificial flavors or colors, walk away. And number 3, how much sugar is in the product? Don't forget the daily limit of 25 grams or 6 teaspoons per day. I hope that you feel more equipped to make better purchasing decisions. Don't forget, although reading labels is important, it's more important to eat real food that doesn't come from a package with a label. Simply ask yourself, was this around when my great-grandmother was alive? If the answer is no, in most cases, it's probably best to put it down and walk away. Thank you for watching, and if you learned something, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. You can connect with me on Facebook and at my website, thewellnessgenie.com. If you have questions, feel free to use the comments section to ask, and you can also suggest topics for future videos that you'd like to see. Thank you and have a great day.